it's been a while since I've read like a standalone fantasy novel, and the characters are sometimes being really annoying considering I left off at like a huge cliffhanger. Checking books off my TBR. Come on guys, don't do this. Hello and welcome to another video. If you are new here, hello, and if you're not, welcome back. So today, like I said, in February every video is going to be a reading challenge of some sort, and so today is the first one. So today we are doing a fun little reading challenge. This is something that I have seen other booktubers do and I think it's quite fun. And so today I'm going to be letting a random number generator decide how many hours I read for. And so basically over 3 days I'm going to be letting this wheel choose how many hours I read for. So I've put in 2 to 6 hours, so 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, because I thought 1 hour was a bit too little. So then I start off with 2, and then I think 6 is probably the max that I would read in one day, outside of obviously like a 24-hour reading challenge, because I do still have editing to do and schoolwork and all that stuff. Yeah, so basically we spin the wheel, we see what number it lands on, and then that decides how many hours I read for that day. Obviously I'm not going to limit myself. For example, if like I get 2 hours and I end up reading 3 hours, then that's no problem. I'm not gonna, as soon as the time runs out, stop reading for the day, because that's just not how I work. Hopefully we get a nice even mix with some days when we do 2 hours, some days when we do 6. I don't want to be doing like 2 hours every day or 6 hours every day, because that's either a lot of reading or not a lot of reading. And basically this is just a way to help me get through my ginormous TBR that I've set myself this month, and also to make it a bit more fun and a bit of a challenge, and so that you guys as well can come along with me and see how I'm doing. But anyway, without any further ado, grab yourself a nice warm drink or a nice cold drink and let's get right on into the video. Okay, so this is day 1, obviously, so I'm probably not going to read like immediately after filming this. I have to go shopping and do some stuff, so reading will probably happen this afternoon. So I'm hoping for not too high a number today. I want today probably to be in between like 2 and 4 hours, and then for the next 2 days then I have more time to read, so I'd like them to be higher. But we'll see. Hopefully we get something not too high for today. It's spinning, it's spinning. What are we gonna get? Oh, I can't actually even read the numbers, so you guys are seeing this before me. 4 hours. Okay, that's honestly, that's not bad. I'm okay with that. So at the moment, I'm currently reading A Curse Carved in Bone by Daniel L. Jensen on my Kindle. That is the second book on my TBR for the month. So I would like to get this finished today, and honestly, I think with 4 hours reading, I will definitely get it finished. I'm at exactly 50%, so hopefully with 4 hours reading I'll get it finished and maybe even be able to start a few pages of another book, which would be really good, because that way I would be on target of finishing a book every 2 days. I basically just want to finish this book today and be able to move on to something else. So yeah, I'm glad we did 4 hours. I'll definitely get this done today, and let me say, so far I'm really enjoying it. I know a lot of people said they didn't really like the second book as much as the first one. I am loving it so far. Obviously I don't know what the second half is gonna bring, and the characters are sometimes being really annoying because I feel like they're kind of stupid and they're not seeing what they're supposed to do, but that's just me, you know. That's always, I feel like, as a reader, sometimes you're gonna see things the characters don't and get annoyed at them for not seeing it, but that's just how books are. So yeah, so we are going to be reading A Curse Carved in Bone by Daniel L. Jensen as the first book we read during this video. Okay, so it is about 4 o'clock. I've been busy, I had to go shopping, I went out a little bit, and now I'm ready to sit down and read. So we have 4 hours today, so let me get a timer ready. Here you go, 4-hour timer. So I'm honestly gonna just try and read the 4 hours straight out. We've got a nice hot drink, I've got some biscuits as well, so I'm probably just gonna sit here nice and snuggly in my little reading nook and get through it as quick as possible. I'm hoping to finish the book that I'm currently reading in this and maybe start a new one. I'm not 100% sure. I'm 57% of the way in and I'm on page 236, and I think there are 400 pages, so I should be able to get this finished and start a new book in these 4 hours, but who knows, we'll see. So I'm just gonna sit here and read. I'm at 75%, and I just wanted to come on here and say this book is annoying me so much, because it's not really the book, it's the characters. Because I kind of hate when we as a reader like see something happening and understand the players being, that the characters being manipulated, but they don't, because obviously that they're not supposed to, you know. But it's really annoying because I'm like, come on guys, don't do this, you're clearly being manipulated into doing this. You clearly, like, this is definitely gonna lead to bad things. You do this, you go through that, you're gonna regret it. But obviously they don't know that, so they do it, and then I'm just there like, oh, I fucking told you, you should have known. And it is like, I think it's just one of the things that you have to live with as a reader, is that sometimes you're going to be smarter than the characters, sometimes you're going to see things coming, you're going to know, and it is like fun almost, because you're literally just sat there reading it like, uh-oh, I don't know what's going wrong, but I know something's going to go wrong. So that, I guess, in an aspect, that's like not fun necessarily, because like it just means you're all tense and stressed for what's going to happen, but at least it's like investing. But it doesn't change the fact that it annoys me so much, because I, as like an outward observer, feel like they're getting manipulated too easy. I'm like, if it was me, I'd know I'm being played, but like I so wouldn't. If it was me, I'd be just as gullible as them or worse. So it is quite funny. But this book, yeah, I'm enjoying it though. I do feel, I don't know, I have to see how it wraps up, but I feel like it's kind of maybe doing too much. Like, I think maybe it should have been spread into a trilogy, and that might have been better. But I feel like in this book, a lot of different things are happening, and so far there have been some stuff that happened that I feel haven't been properly, like, they could have been a bit, I feel like they could have been a bit elaborated, but because it's only a duology, obviously you can't, like, there wasn't time. But I do feel that it could have been stretched into a trilogy, and it wouldn't have felt like it was like being stretched out, you know. It would have been more that it was being properly developed. But anyway, we'll see how it ends. I'm enjoying it so far though. I'm really liking it. I really like our main characters. I find the story really interesting, and oh my god, the way I was saying to my sister, because I was at like 40%. I think this was last night, and I was just saying, I was like, when they're about to go into the final battle, but you're at 40%, so you just know the plot is gonna get twisted so bad. And I was right. Oh my god, was I right. There's a plot twist around 50%, and oh my god, it is crazy. It is insane. I do love me a fantasy book. But it's so funny because I was literally 40% and I was like, I'm waiting for the plot twist, because there's no way things are getting wrapped up. We've still got half the book left. But anywho, I'm enjoying it, so I'm just gonna sit here reading. I've got 3 hours left, and yeah. Okay, I finished A Curse Carved in Blood. It is done. I have 2 hours left on the clock. There you go, 2 hours. Honestly, I really enjoyed it. I didn't think, interesting. I don't think the second book was worse. I do think I stand by what it said, that it should have been like stretched into a trilogy, because the second book did have a lot going on, but as it was, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good book. I was worried. I saw epilogue and I was worried that it was going to be your typical, they settled down, had children and a nice happy quiet life. But actually they had settled down, had a quiet life, but it was a year later and they realised the quiet life wasn't for them. They went back off to war, and I actually really liked that, because it was like new. Normally people have been in war, they want a break, but they were like, no, the fight is for us. We can't live without it. Quiet life is boring. So I really liked that. Honestly, yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I really enjoyed this duology. I thought it was really good. It was a good read. They were a good one to start off the reading challenge. Anywho, it is now, I still have 2 hours left on the clock, which means I need to choose another book to read. I'm probably gonna do a physical TBR book. I think that I am going to read Girl Serpent Thorn. This one's a standalone and it's not that big. Yeah, it's like 300 pages. So I think this is going to be the next book that I read. So in 2 hours, I'm going to get through a decent chunk of it. Probably 150 pages. I'll get about halfway through today. And that's really good, because then I'll be able to finish it tomorrow probably. Or at very least the day after, if tomorrow I'm too busy with school to read. But yes, I'm just going to sit here and get into this book. I'm actually very much looking forward to this. I've been wanting to read this book for so many years. So I cannot wait to read this. I really hope it's going to be as good, because those first books, honestly, they were good. I enjoyed them. I really enjoyed them. They were really good. They were better than I expected, and that's the best thing I can ask from a book. Okay, so it is nighttime and I have a bit under an hour left of reading to do. I'm just under 100 pages into my book. So far I'm enjoying it. Like, I'm only at the beginning. But yeah, so I'm gonna just lie here and read before I go to bed. I'm probably gonna get maybe another 60 pages in, probably about 50. But yeah, so I'm just gonna lie here, get through this book, and we'll have the 4 hours finished. As you can see, 49 minutes left. So yeah, we're just gonna sit here, read for 49 minutes. today's day 2. Technically, like, we're 2 days later because yesterday I literally had class all day. I know I wasn't gonna have time to like properly read, and then when I didn't have class I had to edit, so we didn't do any reading yesterday. I think I read like maybe 30 pages max. So we're still on the same book, Girl, Serpent, Thorn. I don't have it on me, it is downstairs, but anywho. So we are going to see how many hours I can read today. Honestly, today I've got literally nothing on all afternoon, so I would like us to get a high number. 6 hours would honestly be good, because that way I could finish this book and I could probably honestly finish another book, which would be great. Checking books off my TBR, because I've got a lot of books to read this month. But at the same time, if I do a lesser one, then I know that tomorrow I'll also have a lot of time to read. It's the weekend, so I don't have too much going on. I've got a little bit of schoolwork, I might have to do a quick shop or something, but in general I've just got a lot of time to read. Okay, so we have the number spinner. I'm just gonna spin it. I'm gonna let you guys see it before I do. So have we decided? 5 hours. That's not bad. That's a lot of hours. I can do that. Okay, so today we are going to be reading for 5 hours. I'm definitely gonna get Girl, Serpent, Thorn finished in this time, and I'll be able to get either a decent chunk or fully through the next book I choose, depending on what it is, because I'm not sure what I'm gonna pick up yet. I'll have to have a look at what's catching my interest, but I'm thinking I might pick up Fable. I think that's what I'm leaning towards at the moment, but we'll see how I feel when I finish this book. But yeah, so I'm just going to kind of spend the day reading, it would seem. 5 hours, that's not bad. That's a good amount of hours. Probably do a lot of the reading tonight, but just during the day I'll try and get through as much as possible. Okay. So it's a lot later on the day. I've not done as much reading as I wanted to. I had more things to do, so I've only done an hour of reading out of 5. I've got not very much left in the book. I'm page 238, so I'm definitely gonna get finished in like an hour or so, and then I'll be able to move on to the next book that I want to read. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. So I'm just gonna sit here in bed and read my book. Finished it. I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was really good. It's been a while since I've read like a standalone fantasy novel, and honestly the story was like a perfect length for the book. It felt, everything got wrapped up, didn't feel too fast, didn't feel like there wasn't enough happening. It was perfect. I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was really good. Girl, Serpent, Thorn. But yeah, so I still have 3 hours on the clock, so I'm probably going to jump into the next book, which I think gonna be Fable. I think I'm finally gonna read Fable next. But no, this was really good, honestly. It was really interesting because the mythology in it is inspired from Persian mythology, and I've just found it really interesting. They had a whole section in the back about like where the inspiration came from, so like real Persian mythology that then she used for her own means in the story, and I found that really interesting. I love discovering books that use different types of mythology from different countries, be that Greek, Egyptian, Persian, all types. I really find it interesting just learning different cultures, like mythology, because every culture has their own mythology and they're all like their own stories from back in the day when they didn't have science and didn't know how things were created, and I just find it really interesting discovering the differences and the similarities. So I really enjoyed this book. I really liked our main character. I don't know, it's just a really good book. I wasn't disappointed. I was worried at first because I do think the first few chapters it took me a while to get into, so I was worried at first that I would be disappointed, especially because I've been wanting to read this book for a really long time. But honestly, I was not disappointed. I really enjoyed it. I think this was a 4-star read. It was really good, and it's a standalone. It's a standalone fantasy book, so that's like perfect. Plus it's only like 320 pages, so it's quite short. So if you just want to pick up a quick and easy fantasy book, this is a really good one. I really liked it. So it is nighttime. I've got an hour and a half left. I am currently 45% into Fable. I'm enjoying it so far. I really not much of that one. Like I saw that was on 45%. I was like, what? But I was reading it for 5 minutes and nothing happened. But anyway, I'm enjoying it so far. It's good. I feel like we haven't really got into the action yet. Like I'm realizing we have like discovered things, but I feel like we haven't got into the action of it. But maybe it's just one of those books where there's not really that much action. I don't know, we'll find out, because I've got about an hour and a half left, so I'm probably gonna get another 20% into this book at least, before I go to bed. But yeah, so I'm just lying in bed reading until this timer goes off, and then I'm gonna go to sleep. That's pretty much the plan. But yeah, so I am enjoying this book so far. It's very much to say I am loving, like, you can tell a lot of research went into it. Although if you felt like they've been making stuff up, I have no idea, I don't know pirating, I don't know ships, but they use a lot of like terms and explanations. You can tell they put a lot of research into it. But so far I'm enjoying it. The vibe is definitely very pirate, not like pirate, but you know, like ship. So I'm enjoying that. But yeah, so I'm just gonna keep reading and see how it goes. So it is the next day. I did finish all the hours yesterday. I was up like 2 in the morning. I'm just not used to like being up so late, so I'm quite tired. But I got to 74% of Fable. I'm honestly really enjoying it. I feel like not much has happened, but I think the characters are just really interesting. It doesn't feel like I've read 74% of the book already. It kind of just feels like I'm at the beginning. But I do enjoy the characters, and it is interesting because it really does like drip feed information to you. You kind of are following them along, and then they give you a little thing and learn a little thing here. So I'm enjoying it, but I do feel like, yeah, not much is happening during it. But I'm hoping we get a bit more action in these last 25%, and then in book 2 we get more action. Because yeah, so far I just feel like not much has happened. Like things have happened, but I feel like they're more like calm things. Like I don't think this is a hugely plot driven book, but I do think the characters are interesting enough that I personally don't mind. But anywho, so today, honestly, because I'm a bit tired and then I've got to shower, I've got to do some editing, do some schoolwork. I don't want to have too much reading. I'm thinking maybe 3 hours would be good. No more than 4 hours, because yeah, I just want to be a bit more chill today. So here we have the wheel. So let's spin it. Didn't expect it to make any music, but we got 2 hours of reading. So I feel that 2 hours, that's good. That's, like I said, I wanted a lower number today. So there we go. We'll finish off this reading challenge with a bit less hours than we started. But all in all, then we would have done 12 hours of reading during this challenge, and I think that's honestly not bad. So yes, I'm just gonna get into this. I'll definitely finish this, and I'll probably get onto the first book in these 2 hours. And yes, I'm just gonna sit and just read this series. Fable. I literally got to the end, I turned the page and I was like, wait, what? I read the thing, I turned the page, I see acknowledgements, and I'm like, what? It's over? Because it ends on like, I don't even know if you can call that a cliffhanger. It literally ends as if she just stopped writing it. But luckily there's a second book. That's what I down. Namesake, and so I'm gonna jump right into this. So that's good, at least I'm jumping right into it, and hopefully it should pick up right where it left off, considering it left off at like a huge cliffhanger. That would have been crazy having to wait for the second book. That would have been actually insane. So there is 47 minutes left on the clock. I don't know if you can see that. 47. So I'm just going to sit here again, sit in bed and read. That's pretty much, I feel like we've done a lot of that in this challenge. We just sat in bed and read. It rhymes, bed read. So yeah, I'm probably gonna get, I don't know, maybe like 60 pages into this book, so not hugely far, but still. So yeah, I like it. This book's also, I really like the cover. No, it's just, I feel it's really pretty. But anywho, so the first book, I didn't mind it. I felt like not much happened. I felt like the plot wasn't really there. But I did think the characters were interesting, so it kind of made up for it. Really, it all depends on this book. If this book is a bit more action-filled, then it kind of saves the series. If not, it's kind of a mid 3-star series for me. So yeah, we're gonna see how I go with this book, and hopefully there'll be a bit more action, because I did get 200%. I was like, wait, nothing's happened. What's happened in this book? Nothing. But anyway, so I'm just gonna sit here and read for about 50 minutes, and then we'll have finished this 3-day challenge. So we have reached the end of this video, the end of the reading challenge. Honestly, I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was just a nice way to make me read a little bit more each day than I probably would have under normal circumstances. Although I will say, I realized that when I like set a timer to read, I know most people, they set a timer, I've seen them say like it helps them focus if they got a timer on their phone, they're more likely to be locked in, to not be distracted by their phone and everything. I have discovered it's literally the opposite. It's kind of like my brain sees like this deadline and is like, I don't know, it puts more pressure on me, so it makes it less fun. I did like enjoy the challenge and everything. I don't know if it's something I'd necessarily redo. It's kind of different with the 24-hour reading challenge because that's like something kind of ridiculous, but when I like say, okay, I'm gonna read for 4 hours today, it kind of becomes a chore. It becomes something I have to do. And then if I was choosing to read 4 hours, I'd enjoy it a lot more, if you get what I'm saying. But yeah, so I did still enjoy myself, and I am glad that it helped me get through my TBR because I've got a lot of books to get through, so I'm very happy about that. But yeah, I don't think it is something that I would redo. I think just setting a timer outside of like for 24-hour reading challenges is just not something actually that helps me read more, and it kind of makes reading just that much less fun and makes it more like, puts more pressure on it. My brain does not like that. My brain is like, there's pressure on me, I can do it at the last second, let me do every single other thing on my to-do list before we get to this reading. That's kind of what my brain does when it sees that I have like a timer, I've got that many hours of reading. But anywho, we still managed to get it done. We did all the hours of reading. I think we did, let's recap. We did 4 hours on day 1, 5 hours on day 2, and then 2 hours on day 3. So that's 11 hours in total, which honestly isn't bad. It's basically half a 24-hour reading challenge, just spread over like 3 days. But yeah, and then during that time we got through about like 2 books. So we finished a book, we started and finished a book, and then we started another book. Honestly, I'm not disappointed with what we did. We got through books. That was my main goal with this. Obviously it was a fun little challenge, and I also discovered, well, I don't like reading with a timer, so there we go. But anywho, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. But yeah, so we are at the end of the video, and so I have no choice but to bid you adieu. So have an excellent week, and I'll see you next Friday for the next video. Bye.